Hello, I'm Chef Heidi, and welcome to Cooking on the Coast. Today we are building big flavor, one bowl at a time. We're making glory bowls. It's a colorful, wholesome, big meal salad. It's packed with protein, packed with veggies, and crave-worthy dressings. The best part about this is completely customizable. So we're gonna make two totally different glory bowls. Let's get cooking. So I'm gonna start by making the two different dressings. So I'm gonna make a ginger sesame miso dressing to start, and then I'm gonna make a jalapeno honey lime dressing for two different bowls. And so we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh ginger, 1 clove of garlic, and then right now we're gonna put in here 4 tablespoons of miso paste. Miso is a fermented soybean paste. I'm sure you've had it if you've gone to a Japanese restaurant. It's the thing they use to make miso soup. This type here is called the white type. So there's a couple different types of miso, white type, red type. The white type has a sweeter profile and it's less salty, so it's really good in this dressing. So 4 tablespoons of that. Then we need 4 tablespoons or a 1/4 cup of rice wine vinegar. Make sure when you get this vinegar to get the unseasoned rice wine vinegar. Sometimes it's already has salt and sugar added to it, and so then it can throw off the balance of the dressing. Okay, so 1/4 cup. Let's measure that. You always want to have your eye level at the line that you're measuring at so that you get an accurate measurement. Here we go, 1/4 cup. Another specialty ingredient that you need for this, you can get at most grocery stores actually carry this. This is mirin. So this is a sweet Japanese cooking wine. It's very lightly sweet and it's often used in dressings and marinades. It's one of the main ingredients in teriyaki sauce. So let's put that in there, 2/3 of a cup. Okay, we're almost there, 2/3 of a cup. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're gonna put that in there. Then we need 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil. Again, you can get this at any supermarket. It just lends a really toasty and delicious flavor. And then finally, we need a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil of some kind. I'm using avocado oil for this. There we go. Okay, 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup. And we are just gonna blend that all together. So you can do this in a blender or food processor. If you want to do it by hand, that's fine. I would just grate the garlic and ginger on the fine holes of a grater or a microplane, just to make your life easier. All right, that smells so good. I can smell the ginger and the sesame in there. Okay, we're gonna set that aside. So I should actually taste that. You know what? You always want to taste the dressings. Just make sure I didn't majorly screw up. It's so good. It's so bright, so refreshing, so gingery. We're going to use that in a poke-inspired bowl in the second segment. Let's now make our jalapeno lime dressing. So we're going to do this in the food processor. We are going to put 2 cloves of garlic in our food processor. We are also going to do 2 jalapenos, fresh jalapenos. I've taken the seeds out of these ones. If you like it really spicy, you can leave the seeds in. Then we need a teaspoon of salt. We need a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. This will help the dressing emulsify. Emulsify is when the dressing stays together, in one homogeneous mixture rather than separating. Then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of honey. Now, honey is also a nice emulsifier. Now, to get that nice lime flavor in there, we're going to use both fresh lime juice and lime zest. So lime zest is when you just do the colored outer peel. So I'm getting just the outer peel. I'm moving it around the rasp so that I'm not in one spot constantly. You don't want to get any of the white because the white is very bitter. But the colored peel has a ton of essential oils and it really ramps up the flavor. You can do this with any citrus at all and it smells really, really good. It smells like I'm spritzing myself with some lime essential oil. Okay, you want to get it all off there. Okay, and then we need to juice. Okay, we're going to do the juice. This is my famous antique juicer that everyone loves. You can pick them up at any secondhand store. They are amazing. So we need a 1/4 cup of lime juice. I'm just going to cut up 2 limes and juice that until we have about a 1/4 cup. I'm just going to pour it all in there and then I'll measure it out. This is the type of dressing where I wouldn't suggest using bottled lime juice. There are times when I will use bottled citrus, but for a dressing like this where you really want that nice fresh lime flavor, then you want to use some fresh limes. there's any extra, I can put it into my drinking water. Let's hope that's a 1/4 cup. Oh yeah, bang on the money. Okay, 1/4 cup of lime juice. And then we are also gonna add rice vinegar to this one as well. Rice vinegar is one of my favorite vinegars because it's very light and refreshing. So I often use it. Now we're gonna blend this up and then we're gonna add the oil to it. You wanna get this completely pureed. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're gonna do a cup of oil. I'm actually gonna start with 3/4 of a cup and then I'm gonna add more. We're almost at 1 cup, and you can use any oil you want for this. Again, I'm using avocado oil. It's just one of my favorite oils, but you could use canola or sunflower. Okay, now we're gonna take this feed tube out of here. We're gonna turn this on, and we're gonna slowly pour the oil through the tube. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna add to this is some chopped fresh cilantro leaves. I'm just gonna add that at the last minute because we don't want... I got splashed, but it smells amazing. Yeah, I just don't want the cilantro to be pureed. I still like to have, visible pieces of cilantro. I can already smell this. I'm so excited to taste this to see if it tastes as good as it smells. I'm gonna pour it into this measuring cup. Look at how beautiful that is. Beautiful green color from the limes, the jalapeno, and the cilantro. It's just such a great summer recipe. You can use this on any type of salad. It doesn't have to be on a full meal salad. Okay, let me taste it like I tasted the other one. Maybe it needs salt. We don't know. We don't know. That also tastes great. I can totally taste that jalapeno, the lime, a little bit of honey. Yum. Okay, I just have one more thing to show you right now. When you're doing these kinds of big salad bowls, you can do any kind of components you want: veggies, grains, beans, different types of proteins. If you are going to use grains and beans, it's a good idea to marinate them ahead of time. They are a bit starchy and they need to absorb some flavors. So I'm just going to put a few tablespoons of dressing on this. Is just a can of black beans that I opened. I just drained and rinsed it, and we're just going to pour some dressing on there, let that soak. This is some quinoa that I cooked, and you could do any grain, brown rice, barley, or you could even do like roasted sweet potatoes. This is gonna be kind of like a Mexican themed. One of the things that's most important to know about the quinoa is you wanna cook it with slightly less water than you normally would, because otherwise when you add the dressing, it can get really mushy. So you want it to just be slightly firmer than usual. All right, this smells amazing. We have our 2 dressings ready. When we're back in the kitchen, we're gonna throw these delicious glory bowls together with some protein and vegetables, but stick around because after the break, we're on the road.
Cooking on the Road is brought to you by Whisk Victoria, the small but mighty kitchen gadget store for every home chef.
We are here at Lumette with Jason, and he is going to tell us all about it. Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely.
Lumette is our line of non-alc spirits. We have our London Dry expression. We have our contemporary style, which is called Bright Light. And then we also have our spiced rum replacement.
And this initiated from your original distillery.
Yes, so Sheringham Distillery, we're known for our gin mostly. And we just thought that there was room in the market for a non-alc spirit.
How is this made? Obviously, it's not just like flavored water.
There's a distillation process, and I can take you back into the production floor and we can look at the stills.
Yeah,
I can
absolutely.
show you how we've started and then where we are now.
Okay.
Come on, let's go back there.
These kind of look like genie lamps.
They do look like genie lamps. If you give them a little rub, some gin will come out. This is the production floor of Sheringham Distillery, and these are the same stills where we created Lumette. We put the botanicals in the still with the liquid. So for Lumette, we use water, and for Sheringham, we use vodka as a base.
Yeah.
We let the botanicals soak for a certain amount of time, and then we'll fire the stills up. And when everything inside comes up to a boil, the vapor will rise up into the hat here, and all the essential oils and flavors from all the botanicals will come with it. The vapor will turn back to liquid and come out as gin or non-alc gin. Then we package it up, and there we go.
Is it possible to try some?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Gareth's upstairs, and he's willing to mix you up a couple of cocktails.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah, let's go. So Heidi, I would like to introduce you to Gareth Jones.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Master bartender, very brilliant, and he's also our ambassador for Sheringham Distillery and for Lumette.
I'm going
Amazing.
to showcase our 3 Lumette products, the 2 gins and the rum. 2 of them are going to be very simple, just sort of built in the glass.
Okay.
I'm using the Lumette Bright Lights. So many beautiful botanical flavors that you can just build this cocktail as you would a regular G&T, and you still get all those beautiful flavors.
Okay.
You garnish this with some rosemary and some lemon.
Love it. Simple perfection.
Very simple.
Very nice.
The next one I'd like to make is a non-alcoholic version of one of my favorite cocktails, which is a dark and stormy. Usually made with Gosling's rum, but it works so well as a light and stormy. So you go
Light
in
and
with
stormy. Ooh, clever.
half an ounce of lime juice, ginger beer, Lumette lime rum on top. So you get a nice
Oh, that's
layer
so beautiful.
of colors. Just gonna garnish that with a dehydrated lime wheel.
Okay,
And you've
I love
got
it.
my light and stormy. And then the last one I'm gonna make is a shaken cocktail using our Lumette London Dry. Beautiful citrus flavors. 1 ounce of lime juice. And then I made a lemongrass Earl Grey tea syrup.
Oh, what?
Wow.
Wow.
Delicious.
Gonna add some ice to this and give it a quick shake. And we have our Earl Grey lemongrass gimlet.
Oh,
Very
man,
nice.
I don't know which one to pick. They all look so good. My first thought was to try the G&T because I love one, so I'm just going to try that. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, that's incredible. That is so good.
They're all so simple, but you still get all of the flavors and botanicals and beautiful notes if you were having a cocktail.
Exactly, and you still feel like a grown-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for these amazing cocktails, and thank you for the tour.
Yes, thanks for coming.
Oh, absolutely. Lumette is delicious. It's available at grocery stores and liquor stores. Check it out.
Cooking on the Coast is brought to you by Country Grocer, with 11 convenient locations across Vancouver Island and Salt Spring.
Welcome to the kitchen. We are making glory bowls, big, beautiful, colorful, full meal salads. We are halfway done, so let's get this finished up. I've made 2 delicious dressings, ginger sesame miso and honey jalapeno lime, and I have all these components ready to go. The thing that's so great about glory bowls is they're completely customizable, so you could put whatever you want in there. Leftovers, you name it. So I'm gonna talk about how I would assemble these 2. And I've already got a bunch of stuff already done here. I've got some chopped fresh veggies, cucumbers, peppers, grated carrot. I have some marinated quinoa, some marinated black beans. This is some frozen corn that I just thawed out in the oven with a little bit of salt and oil. And I've got some cherry tomatoes. This is some chicken, leftover chicken that I'm gonna cut up. One of the things I'm gonna show you is what I'm gonna do with my ginger miso bowl over here. So I've got a pot of water up to a boil, and in here I'm gonna put some edamame. These are green soybeans. They are available in the freezer section of any supermarket. And they just need to cook for about 3 minutes in boiling water. And I have a bit of salt in that water as well. And you can cook them directly from frozen, even though those are thawed, that's fine. And then the other thing I like to do with this salad is I like to use salmon. So we're just gonna pan sear the salmon lightly so it's nice and tender, not overcooked, and it's ready to go for our salad. So I'm heating up my cast iron pan. You can also use grilled salmon, leftover salmon, can of tuna. One of my favorite things is to always have a nice homemade dressing in the fridge, and I often have salad greens as well, so then it's actually pretty easy to throw together a meal salad with some leftover veg, a bit of fresh lettuce, some leftover protein, canned beans. I often open just a can of beans, put the dressing on to marinate. So we're gonna heat that up nicely. Let me just go to the fridge and grab the salmon. We have some beautiful West Coast sockeye salmon here. We're gonna pop just a few of these on our pan. Listen to that sizzle. We're just gonna put 3 of them in here. You don't wanna crowd them too much or they'll steam instead of sear. And we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper on that for seasoning. We're just gonna let that cook for a couple minutes. Usually like 2 to 3 minutes per side. It depends a bit on how thick your salmon was. You don't wanna overcook salmon. Let's check on our edamame. These are looking pretty good, actually. I'm gonna go and drain these. They take a little less time because they were already thawed out. And then what I like to do For anything that I'm gonna blanch and put in a salad, I like to just spread it on a tray like this and let the moisture steam off, and they cool quite quickly. So I do that instead of plunging them into ice water, because when you plunge vegetables like that into ice water, they get soggy and waterlogged. So cook them slightly under and then just spread them on a tray like that. Okay, let's check our salmon. It's still gonna be another 30 seconds before we flip it. So I'm gonna get out my beautiful salad greens. So you can buy a box of pre-done greens, or you can get some nice lettuce. Make sure that it's ripped small, washed, and then spun dry. Again, like with the blanched vegetables, you don't want any liquid on these lettuce greens because it's gonna water down the dressing. Ooh, our salmon's ready. You wanna make sure there's enough oil in the pan or it will stick. There we go. I'm just tilting the pan to make sure that I get oil right under where the salmon's going. So we're just gonna cook that for a couple more minutes and I'll put it on that tray. I have so many amazing vegetables that I'm out of room almost. I just have to cut this chicken into little bite-sized pieces. So this chicken is leftover from yesterday's dinner, and it was just done in a convection oven. It's just simple, salt and pepper, but you could use any type of chicken. I've often used rotisserie chicken for this. There we go for that. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this salmon. I always like to cook my salmon slightly under because it's gonna cool as it sits here waiting to go in the salad, and that way it is still nice and moist. There we go. Ooh, it's looking so pretty here. I'm gonna put it here. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. I'll move that out of the way. So we have our beautiful, perfectly cooked salmon. And now we are gonna build our bowls. So I'm gonna do the jalapeno honey lime with the chicken first, just let that salmon cool slightly. This is one of my favorite meals, and like I've said many times, it's super customizable. I often do this, like put different components on the table and then let my kids build their own meal. It's a great summer meal, and you can have all these components in the fridge all ready to go and then have meals for days. Okay, so I've got my lettuce base. So I always put a little bit of dressing on the lettuce. Now, if you were gonna make a whole bunch of these, you could actually just toss the lettuce first. Then I have that quinoa that we marinated earlier. Okay, so we're gonna put a few scoops of quinoa on there. And then we're gonna put a few scoops of black beans. The idea behind this recipe, because the dressing is like a jalapeno lime, we're going for kind of like a Southwest theme. So the type of things you might have on taco night. So I've got our marinated black beans there. Then we're gonna do the corn. There we go. Then I'm just gonna grab some tongs and place some chicken on there. Arrange it nicely. So pretty. Then we're gonna do some cherry tomatoes, because they're pretty. It's nice to get all the colors in there, right? And then I like to do just a little bit of red onion. You can also just sprinkle this on. And then we're gonna put some dressing on next. More dressing, just drizzle that all over. Drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. And you wanna make sure there's a nice bit of dressing on there in every bite. I'm gonna put a little few peppers in there too, because we just need some more color. More color, more better. Ooh, it looks so pretty. Okay, now finally, let's get some feta cheese on there. This is Macedonian feta, so it's very creamy. It's just my favorite. I have such a weakness for Macedonian feta. It's basically like cream cheese if you made it into feta cheese. So it doesn't crumble as well, but I think it's worthwhile. Okay, we'll do one final little bit of dressing on there, then we'll garnish it with some cilantro, and then we'll get on to our other one, our poke inspired. Always got to put a little garnish, little cilantro garnish. Ooh, look at that, it's so pretty. Okay, now we're gonna make our second bowl. This is my poke inspired bowl. Not poke, because poke is just marinated raw tuna or sometimes raw salmon, but this has some of the same flavors that you would normally get in poke. So I have my base of greens again, and I'm gonna take this delicious sesame ginger miso dressing and just drizzle it all over the greens. You want to flavor every level. Again, for this one, I have some brown rice or wild rice medley that I have pre-marinated here in the same dressing. And then we are going to do some of we got some snow peas here that I blanched. We've got some grated carrot, which is very colorful and beautiful. We have some radishes. I always like everything for this dish to be like really light and fresh. I'm gonna get the edamame that I blanched. We'll just get a small handful of that beautiful edamame. I'm gonna put a piece of salmon on here. I think this one looks the prettiest. Pop that right there. Ooh, yeah. Okay, then we can do either, we got cucumbers. Okay, we're gonna do a few slices of cucumber. Then I'll do a few of these peppers because I just like that little pop of color. So we're gonna put more dressing all over this. Make sure you hit everything, so get that edamame. You could also marinate the edamame ahead of time too, that's another thing. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, now I'm gonna garnish it with a couple of things. Here I've got these beautiful brassica sprouts or radish sprouts. I just think adds a little flavor. If you like green onions, you can always sprinkle a few green onions on there. And then the final thing are some sesame seeds. Oh my gosh, gives it a little crunch. Looks so pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna clear some space so I can show this off. There we have our beautiful poke-inspired salmon glory bowl alongside our Southwest-inspired honey jalapeno bowl. Colorful, crunchy, hearty, and fresh. These glory bowls have it all. Grains, veggies, proteins, and unbelievable dressings. Hope you love them.
Don't go away. Find the perfect pairing for this dish up next.
Pairings are brought to you by Liquor Plus. Discover the plus.
Our glorious glory bowls are bright, fresh, and full of flavor. So what do you pair with a dish that's this vibrant and satisfying? Well, I've got just the person to help out. It's Cheryl from Liquor Plus. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Heidi. It's always so great to be here. Well, I brought a little bit of heaven
A little bit of heaven.
to go with the glory.
Okay.
Okay.
I love
It is saintly heaven scent.
Okay.
And it's actually a non-alcoholic sparkling rosé.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
And I thought with glory bowls, they're so fresh and light.
And
that
people are often quite health conscious when they're trying to eat them.
so much so.
Right.
So I thought this would be a perfect pairing. Cheers. Isn't that lovely?
Yes, that's so yummy.
What do you get? Getting some strawberry.
Yeah.
A little bit of raspberry.
It's really effervescent too. It's not too sweet.
Yes.
Ooh,
yeah.
love it.
So let's see how it pairs.
Let's see how it pairs.
with
So you've
these
got
bowls.
the Southwest one.
Okay.
And I have the ginger one.
Terrific.
Let's try it. I can make it for you anytime. The dressing's so good.
Oh, okay. So it's so light and fresh that going with a wine like this that has a little bit of peach,
Yeah, let's try it.
you get some lychee in there too. See if you can get that.
Yeah, that is great.
Isn't that delicious?
Yeah, I feel very adult and sophisticated and also very healthy. I find it pairs really well with this ginger bowl, but I'm really curious about the honey jalapeno.
Actually, perfection.
Yeah?
Yes.
Rosé all day.
Yes, rosé all day, delicious bowls, perfect pairing.
Thank you so much. This is fantastic.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for joining us in the kitchen today. I'm Chef Heidi Fink. Remember, the more you learn, the better it tastes. Second. Sorry, I wasn't sure. I missed the line, but I'm like, I'm just gonna keep eating. I really like this chewy brown rice.
The chewy brown, oh, I love chewy brown rice.
I did brown rice with the
Look at
ginger
this.
bowl.
Okay. And then you got the nice beans in here. I love it, and it's so colorful. That's what I love. It's just so inviting.
You're eating it with your eyes before you
Oh,
even get in there.
100%. And I just love, I love that.